So, recent statement from US officials from Washington suggests a willingness to re-engage the alliance of Sahel states. But analysts are saying that this move might be a bit too late. Right now that the alliance of Sahel state continues to deepen their ties with Iran, with China, and with Russia. According to information, US officials in Washington claims that they have the technical know-how and the military might to eliminate the terrorist groups in the Sahel and build up a good relationship with the Alliance of Sahel on a win-win partnership term. That is the statement that is coming out of Washington right now when it comes to US renewed approach towards the Sahel. They call it a win-win partnership. So they are saying now that they have the technical know-how and the military might to eliminate the terrorist groups in the Sahel and build a good relationship with the Alliance of Sahel on a win-win partnership. I kind of know that that is almost impossible at this point, and it's looking more like rhetoric. The US officials claim, quote, "We are engaging our friends in the Sahel to ensure we can offer a formidable security partnership towards combating the crisis in the region." Honestly, I don't I don't know. I don't know, but I would say there are no friends of the US in West Africa. I think the only group of people that have claimed to not just be allies of the United States, but friends of the US is Nigeria. And the last time I checked, the US did not even regard to Nigeria as a friend. At least you don't tell a friend that I don't want to see this equipment I sold to you. I don't want to see it in this theater of operation. I don't want to see it in that theater of operation. Don't go here. And when Nigeria sometimes seem to be having some, breakthrough, the counterterrorism front, the next thing you hear is some human rights organization that is part of the framework that allows the US to give some aids to Nigeria that will just spring up suddenly and just say, oh, there is humanitarian crisis going on. The government is abusing the citizens' rights and all of that. It came to a point where these people started letting us understand that the terrorists even have rights, that eliminating the terrorist group will be taking their rights away. So now that they are calling the Sahel, they say the Sahel are their friends and all of that. But analysts are saying that this is coming at a very, very late period. And some people are saying from places like the United Kingdom that there is a plan by the BRICS, which is Russia, China, Iran, and all of that, to fill a void that was left in the Sahel by France. But I think when people continue to echo this thing about void, 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 it means that they are not really, really coming with this renewed thing that they are talking about. They've not really seen, there is no renewed agenda anywhere. There is no renewed plan to re engage the Sahel. If people continue to go around with this narrative of French void, and we hear it on most of their mainstream media when they say things like, you know, Russia is trying to fill the void of the Sahel. In fact, some of them have said that the Russians are trying to militarize the entire place. So now that the US is claiming that, you know, they want to re-engage, I don't even think it's a good idea. Why? Because currently in Zimbabwe, the US wanted to give aid, humanitarian aid to Zimbabwe. And this humanitarian aid was going to about over 300 and something million dollars, I think 50 something million dollars, that the Zimbabwean leadership had to reject. Why? Because the US was asking for minerals. They were asking for mineral rights in Zimbabwe. So, and it's a way to crush whatever advances that Zimbabwe has been making in recent time. How do I mean? You know that Zimbabwe currently started backing their currency with gold. So, coming to Zimbabwe and giving them some humanitarian aid in exchange for mining rights and all of that, it means that whatever development plan that Zimbabwe has, they're trying to stop it right in its track. And Zimbabwe rejected it. So I don't think there is any improved offer. I don't think there is anything that is going to change drastically with whatever they are saying that they are going to bring to the Sahel. If anything, I think the Sahel are already improving massively on their own. And I think it's the same people that are extending their hands of assistance to the Sahel that are equally causing the chaos in the Sahel, because it is against US interests that there is a country in Africa that is fighting terrorism and winning the war against terrorism without US help, aid, European aid. I don't think, based on the plan, it is not supposed to happen in 2026 or 2025 or whatsoever, that there is a country in Africa that is fighting terrorism without having any regard for US assistance. And they are succeeding. Hence, the stance of mainstream media like Al Jazeera, like First Post, like all those Western mainstream media, to tell lies about the counterterrorism situation in the Sahel. Because any victory, that is why you see that the mainstream media do not broadcast any major victory in the Sahel. They cannot do it because the agenda is to make Africans believe. I mean, the ones that still want to believe, to make them believe that, look, there is no success in whatever you want to achieve without the US. That is why you see the Sierra Leonean president today was still talking about international help, international partnership, international. It's very, very sad when you hear things like that. Very, very, very sad development. So now we are having Zimbabwean politicians praising the Alliance of Sahel, stating particularly that the model of Captain Ibrahim Traore in the Alliance of Sahel States should be emulated all around Africa. According to what they said this model has proved to be effective against all colonial agenda and plots against these independent states. You see, that word independent is very, very strange. The word independence is so strange in Africa to the point that, some people don't even understand. The independence they dwell on is that 1960 something independence. They gave you a flag, they gave you a national anthem, they unified some you know states from different ethnic group, from different language, destroyed I mean, so what the Zimbabweans are saying now is that the model of the Sahel has proved to be effective so far and should be emulated. Families, what do you think? So now we now have a good situation coming out of the Sahel states right now. The situation is very, very beautiful. It's very, very fantastic based on what is going on along the northern axis of the Alliance of Sahel States. We do know that recently the Alliance of Sahel States has started building a very, very good relationship with what do they call them? With Algeria, right? And the Algerian border is very, very close to the Libyan border. What happened today? The Libyan leader, I don't know what group that man is leading. His name is Marshal Khalifa Belkasim after Alfajani, right? The commander in chief of the Libyan National Army has conducted a clean up operation and security operation in the border area with Niger and Chad. The hostile elements recently instrumentalized against Niger in the pay of foreign powers have currently been apprehended. They were not only apprehended, a lot of them were eliminated. Now, I did not know that you have that number of terrorists on the border of Libya with Niger, with Chad. And the beautiful aspect of this particular development was that this man called Marshal After led the soldiers in this battle. Welcome, brother, and thank you for your service to this community. Thank you so much. The Libyan leader himself led the Libyan, national army to the border between Niger and Chad. It was a serious onslaught. And from what we are seeing, which will be after this live, we'll be posting the video. I know a lot of people must have seen it, but we'll be posting the video on our Telegram channel. Some terrorists were neutralized, some were captured alive. They surrendered. So, and the equipment that was captured from these guys, I think I was seeing a lot of mortars. Rifles were captured. They packed them inside the pickup truck and they drove them off. It was an operation that has been today. They started from morning, they finished it at night, and they were still able to capture people even at that time. So, my question is, did they not know that there was a serious offensive onslaught that was being launched? Why did they wait? I don't know if these people are even thinking at all. So they've packed them, and to consolidate that effort, I think it is only important for the Alliance of Sahel States, or Niger to be specific, and Chad to launch a joint operation to make sure that their own border too is not being infiltrated. And when I looked at where the operation terminated, there was a huge mountain ahead. So anywhere to that mountain was cleared out completely. So I think we are beginning to see something beautiful from Libya right now. And this further has a lot to do with this renewed agenda from the Maghreb country to partner with the Alliance of Sahel States. According to information coming out of Libya, they said there is a huge offensive to even destroy the open air slave trade that is currently going on in Libya. We know that the power in Libya is currently divided, and it is in the interest of people that wants to, continue to loot and plunder Libya that, they hope that the division stays longer than possible. But this is a very, very huge development from Libya. And now that there is even another, partnership between the Alliance of Sahel State and Algeria. So if Libya can, do something great in making sure that they stop all act of terrorism from their own end, then we could have a situation where something like a real partnership could really, really work out in the interest, in the mutual interest of the independent states to make something happen. Okay. So, and that is a very, very beautiful development. And this further boosts what is happening from the Algerian territory. There is a sort of conflict that is going on at the border between Algeria and Mali. How do I mean? The Algerian troops have been putting a lot of pressure on the Tuareg terrorists along the Algerian territory. And when I'm talking about pressure, I am not talking about maybe diplomatic, I'm talking about military pressure. Because recently, the Tuareg group along the Algerian territory, I don't know what happened. They've been having conflicts with the locals. And according to information, the Algerians have been saying they should leave. So, which have really, really caused conflict along that region. Now, the question is, where should they go to? When they told them to leave, where do they expect them to leave to? And the Tuaregs are calling on their brothers. I don't know where those their brothers are. Maybe the ones in the Imdao territory, they are calling them to come and back them up. And what we have recently, I know that a lot of people must have been hearing that Mali continues to smash all the FLA terrorists along the northern border between Algeria. I think the reason why we are having this situation right now is because Algeria, that used to be their safe haven, is no longer, accepting them. It's no longer providing that shelter for them anymore. Because any attempt to provide shelter for the FLA terrorists will not be in the interest of the Alliance of Sahel. So when you go to the broader scheme of geopolitics, who will it benefit? Will it benefit the Algerians to keep terrorists within their border at the expense of the economic aim, goal, the economic, development that can come in based on what they can generate with the agreement they already have with Niger Republic? The gas pipeline, the rail network that will start from Algeria, go through both the trans-Saharan gas pipeline, right, and the rail network. We go through the Alliance of Sahel States. Over 1,000, I think they said the whole project is about 4,000, is this square kilometer or something? And over 1,000 will cross the border of Niger. So it will not be in the interest of Algeria, geopolitically speaking, to do anything right now that would affect their interests. Because geopolitics is about interest. There is no friend anywhere. Because and you know the intelligence of Niger, the intelligence of the AES, generally speaking, is on a whole different level. And it's not just intelligence. I don't know if the people in the ECOWAS bloc, I don't know how good their intelligence is. But I can guarantee that it's not just about the intelligence. It's about the response to those intelligence. What we have seen in the Sahel is the ability to get some of the most classified intelligence, even from the people that are planning, even if sometimes some of the plan is coming from the West, their ability to intercept those intelligence and respond correspondingly. You know, it's not just about intelligence, it's about response. It's about the build up to avert whatever disaster is going to come out based on the intelligence that have been relayed to you. So what we are seeing in the Alliance of Sahel States is that they are early warning, they are build up towards, averting any type of threat. Is on a whole nother level. It is not that the people planning, it is not that they've stopped planning. It is not that they've stopped giving weapons, finance to the terrorists. No, it is not that they've stopped sending special forces to come and continue training them. In fact, you will hear from some soldiers that when the troops deploy, they start noticing the fact that the way some of these terrorists behave on the line of contact, they are behaving like as if real special forces, the real special forces, the way they behave in situations, the way they give orders, the way they take positions, change positions, that is how these terrorists behave sometimes. So some bunch of alimajiri from somewhere will now start like contact left, duck, move, clear right. Like, where's that one coming from? If not that some of these terrorists are, some of the people that are coming to train them are giving that type of training. So now, therefore, it is only necessary for us to give a lot of credit to the alliance of Sahel States and to equally give a lot of credit to their people, to the fact that they've been able to understand that this is not their government doing something wrong. You know, the most beautiful aspect of this fight is the fact that the alliance of Sahel States citizens have been able to accept that this is a fight and it's a necessary fight. They've been able to accept that this is not the whole situation going on, is not a creation, is not a creation of their government. It's in the public domain that this has been for a long time, and the people have understood because they lost people. They've been able to understand that, okay, this is something that have been imposed on them to keep them in that situation. And the people have been able to realize that they can develop. That is one very, very big thing that the West did not want to happen. Okay? Yes, they blew up the Nord Stream. You understand? So the US, the West, let me say, does not want any type of development to happen in the alliance of Sahel States because they understand that development, right? That development will be a fuel to more revolutionary regimes that are not even coming from the Sahel. That people will be like, okay, in the midst of all these things, right? That they are developing. So they will start looking at it that, oh my God, how is this happening? Because it will further boost the belief of the people that if we can develop. Now remember, they had democracy. They used to have democracy. They used to go through election, even if the election is not free and fair. I wonder how many countries in West Africa now has free and fair election. Before the Ghanaian people were able to bring in Mahama, you know how hard they fought to even for a free and fair election. So if the last election of Ghana that brought in JD Mahama to position, if it wasn't free and fair, I don't know if there's any country in West Africa, in the entire West Africa, that has a free and fair election. I don't think there is. So we are seeing a very, very good development. The Alliance of Sahel States are working very, very hard with their partnership. I stumbled upon some sort of information by the Western intelligence today. They are saying that the number of Russian troops in Mali alone is over 2,000. I don't know how I don't know how true that information is. I don't know how I don't know if that is true, but it could be possible. They are saying that the number of Russian troops in Mali alone is over 2,000. Well, I don't think 2,000 is a huge number, but man, that's huge. If Mali has 2,000 Russian forces within the territory, that means the Alliance of Sahel is not messing around. They are not messing around at all. And it's possible that because when I look at the statement that they have over 2,000, that is not Burkina Faso. That has nothing to do with Niger. Okay. I'm talking about in Mali alone. That's what they said. That there are over 2,000. 2,000 is not small. Probably this is why some states are not misbehaving. Man, 2,000 Russian forces. Hmm. So that is a that's a very, very good development right there, you know. And France is now claiming through their mainstream media that the amount of money that have been spent by the Malians alone on the African coast since 2021, according no 2022, that it's getting close to $1 billion. Now they are saying it as if they are saying something sensible. They said it's getting close to $1 billion. They said their operation Bakin did not cost a dime. Now, let me come in at that point. I think saying that your operation Bakin, you know, did not come at any cost is a very obvious lie, because you were not coming as a partner, you were coming as a colonial state. You were in charge of almost 90% of the minerals. That was what you were doing. Even the agreement you have on paper, what you do in the open does not reflect the agreement you have based on the contracts you signed, courtesy of Orano, courtesy of so many other things in the Sahel. So I don't know what they were talking about, that it was they lied about the situation in the Sahel. So, and I'm very, very happy that there is a country in Africa that can spend over one, in fact, I want it to be over $1 billion to protect a citizen in Africa. That's a very great development by the Malians, that they can spend over $1 billion. Now, they are not spending money to bribe terrorists. They are spending money to protect their citizens through kinetic means. They don't want to hear anything. They don't want a situation where they are imagine how disgusting it is that any country is negotiating with terrorists, stateless people. It's a shame. So now we have a situation, okay? So I think I think they are worried. The economy is suffering. The Alliance of Sahel continue to use money in different ways. So they cannot take it. They can like it's as if they are itching. That's what it looks like. Okay. So and when you look at it clearly, you said Niger was the poorest country, or second poorest in Africa. You can just imagine the level of lies. You can just imagine. But now those countries are growing regardless. And the way their diasporans are supporting them is just phenomenal. 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 And you see, this whole diasporan thing, let's talk about it. Africa has never been a united continent in reality. Yes, in all honesty, the diasporan have been for a long time detached from the homeland in certain ways, either through Western propaganda or whatever means. Even when we see collaboration from the diasporans with the people on the homeland, it's always in some form of maybe influenza collaboration or something. This is the first time we are seeing the people in the diaspora, right? That they are doing something fantastic. I mean, they are investing back in their homeland. You know, anyone in the diaspora right now that have one way or the other contributed to the fight against this imperialism can come out and say, I have done something great in life. I'm telling you, either children that were born in Africa that left, or children that were born overseas, like people are like, it's now looking as if the Alliance of Sahel has more than one government. I'm sorry, but that is what it's like. It's looking as if they have more than one government. To deal with them means you have to deal with the opinion and the interest of their people. So it's not as like people are funding whatever project is going on within the state. You know what that means? In my country, As a citizen, you cannot fund the construction of any road. The police will arrest you because it's against democratic principle. You must write letter, and the letter must pass through different offices before you can do anything. But in the alliance of Sahel State, people are contributing massively. So it is not you sending delegation. It is not, it's not, it has never been about the delegation you sent as a foreign state to go and talk to the, no, it's about the interest of the people. A situation where in fact, when June Africa made this post yesterday, the response was overwhelming. The response overwhelming. And a lot of people don't understand that foreign states, they collect data from whatever their mainstream media projects, because the mainstream media is a arm of the deep state that projects the interest of the deep state. So when their mainstream media says some things, they want to see the response. Don't look at the internet as, don't look at these platforms as just platforms. I want you to see it from a strategic standpoint. Sometimes when you see some certain posts, they want to see if there is conflicting opinion, or if there is going to be an overwhelming unified resistance against their interests. When they see they get data, they be like, oh, we don't want to do that right now because the people are not accepting us. Now, I posted one of the video I posted yesterday. I saw some sort of development in Mali, right? It's in the purview of the Malian people to decide, okay, whatever happens within their country. But I'm saying that the UK ambassador, they are doing some things that in the past we see it as great things. They are giving scholarship to Malians, okay, to go and study in the UK. Now, I don't like this, but like I said, it's in the purview of the Malian people. You understand? To to um to decide on whatever they want. But what do I think? This has been a plot that these people have been using for a long time to create division within the state. When they give scholarship to your best, they drain the brain in the country. They give scholarship to only the best. Go and look at it. They don't just give scholarship to anybody. So they take them away. People that are supposed to completely, if the governance in that country is right, these are people that these are tools to change whatever in the country, to improve the country, to create innovative mind. They take them away in the name of scholarship. Now people are going to be happy, but if we look at the real brain behind it, the mindset behind it, it's not a good one. Now, and it creates this aspiration. People will now want to work hard, not to improve the life of their people or to improve their country. Their essence of working hard will now be that, oh, I want to work hard so that I want to get a scholarship to go get better opportunity and have a better life overseas. What does that create? You sort of create a situation where people are no longer thinking in the interest of their state. They're not thinking in the interest of the foreign state. If you ask anybody in Nigeria right now, probably their biggest interest would be to travel to the UK and have a better life. But the irony of all of this is that the people that travel from within to the diaspora, at the end of the day, they end up becoming, the problem that these people are not anticipating. Their anticipation was that, okay, when we bring those people, they will work in our interest. But so far, so good. The most resilient people that we've seen when it comes to being honest, they don't want to hear anything, mostly come from the diaspora. Because is it money that you want to use to bamboozle them or something? Is it like these people have seen what good governance look like? So that is why you hear most time the people in the diaspora say that like, this person is a bad leader. It is not like they're angry people or something. They've seen what good governance should be like. They've seen what real democracy should be like. Even if in some of the countries, what you have now in overseas is dictatorship, you no longer have real democracies, right? But the people in the diaspora have been able to beat that crazy norm that exists in Africa, that you can use money to bamboozle people and get their votes. Is it somebody in diaspora now that you want to go and give 1,000 naira or 2,000 naira to change their opinion about who should lead the country? Hell no, it's not going to happen. So in a way, it comes back to be a positive. Okay? But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes too it can be weaponized. It's a catch-22. Okay, kids in Mali, kids in Burkina Faso, right? They've been winning robotic competition. So it means that there is a new shift in the Sahel now, and it's a beautiful shift. It's a beautiful shift to further build up. I think more training, I'm talking about training with some of these states that are ready to transfer knowledge. I'm talking about real knowledge. I'm talking about real technology. Some of those kids should be pushed in that direction so that they can bring the knowledge back home. Burkina Faso education program is great. See, these people are not doing everything on paper. They are doing what works. Captain Ibrahim Traore is not the type of person that claims to know all, even if he's one of the most intelligent person that I've ever seen. They are doing what works. This is one man that sits. They have this this gathering of ministers from time to time, like they sit, they update themselves, they sharpen. Like if you look at the leadership of the Alliance of Sahel States, it's so different. It's so different. These people are committed to working for the people. And the people are equally on the same page. And that is not just it. The people in diaspora are Cameroon recent attacks. It's a strategic area of 40 million. Now, the people in diaspora are supporting the people at home, financing projects. What does this create? It creates a unified front where you have both government and the people at the same time. In the European countries, you don't even have this. And this is a big threat to the interest of the West, because other people are now looking at it now. Other people are looking at it that it's possible. A situation where the government and the people can be on the same page. Even if everybody don't have to agree at all time, but they are able to find a balance at all time. And it's not just having a balance. We've come to a point where everybody is as if they are on the same page right now. And come to think of it, when you look at what the Alliance of Sahel States, what they are doing, I'm telling you, it's a direct response to the interest of their people. Different delegations continue to come in. The people continue to say no. So when the government say no, it is not the government. So for the people in the West that think, oh, it's the government that is... No, it's not the government. The people don't even want you to be around. The people don't want you. You see, Scott Ritter and there is this US analyst, right? And what's the name? There's this US analyst, right, that is currently in Russia. I don't know if you remember the name. He has worked for CNN before, but now he's now an independent journalist. Sanchez, the Sanchez effect. Yeah. Thank you very much. He said something. He said, yes, I think it's from Cuba. He said that when you travel to Iran, now I'm going to tell you why the AES is even better than Iran. He said when he traveled to Iran, he discovered that The moment they saw him and they noticed he was an American, they were so happy. Oh, he's an American. They wanted to talk to him. See, that is one of the most satanic form of colonial, should I say, memory that is built. You see, that thing that makes people want to be like, it's not like they're happy to, like, it's, they want to be him. That is that thing. They want to be him. Now you see a lot of Iranians, they wear suits, they, some of, I've seen deep things about Iran that makes me feel like, man, that is why you see that there is continuous protest within the country. It's not possible. You cannot have a protest in the Sahel. You cannot. You see, colonialism starts from people trying to be other people. I don't know whichever proxy they are coming from. There are different proxies. There are different proxy, ways through which they can influence the people and colonize them, recolonize them, continuously colonize them, right? But in a situation in the Sahel where you have the Nigerians dressing like Nigerians, the Burkinabe people dressing like Burkinabes, the Malian people dressing like Malians, right? The people are wearing their indigenous costumes, even when they travel out to different UN summits and all of that. They want to be themselves. That only sends a message. These people are truly sovereign. So when you see the Americans sending delegation that will want to have a renewed partnership under the win-win, mutual respect and all of that, it's not that they just send these people. It's not like these people have just moved out of ECOWAS. These people have finally checked out. I don't know if anybody understands. They've checked out. For you to truly check out, to claim sovereignty, you have to mentally check out. Look at the Nigerians. Look at what they are saying. They are saying that their products are natural. They are Nigerian products. And they will remain, the revenue that they generate will remain Nigerian. Yes, if Ghana can pick that up, that would be very, very fantastic. That would be very, very fantastic. So there is an intense pressure coming from the alliance of Sahel States right now on other blocks in Africa, not just ECOWAS, other blocks. Now the people in the Maghreb nation are trying to unify themselves. They are trying so hard now to make sure that they unify themselves. Why are they trying to unify themselves? They are saying that Israel is an existential threat now. Because if you look at the Abraham Accord, part of Egypt will be chopped off. And if Israel can get into the Horn of Africa, then you know that something else, another trouble is here. So now they are trying to, unify themselves, just like the same framework you have in the Alliance of Sahel. Just like the same thing you have in the Alliance of Sahel. So, I mean, what we have going on in the AES state right now is incredible. Incredible. Just perfect. From government to people. See, it's not enough to talk about a good government. It is enough to talk about good people. We've had revolutionary leaders all around the block. If you look at Kwame Nkrumah, Jesus Christ. You see, this guy in DRC, I used to think he's one of the best. But when you hear about Kwame Nkrumah was not just a good, like, it was not just a revolution. That guy was too intelligent. And there is no way to kind of manipulate things. This Ibrahim Traore that we are looking at, this Abdurrahmani Chiani and Assimi Goita, they are already legends living in our time. These are legends. The generation to come will remember them. And you see, the fight for colonization, for recolonization of Africa has begun. History will remember this moment. So what we are seeing now is history playing back. What we've seen before, we are seeing it again. Revolutionary leaders, I think they come. I think they always come back. So the question to the people now is, what is history going to remember right now in our time? They're already in Somaliland, but we don't know how long that will last. The African Union is against it. I don't know if there is a certain interest the African Union have But I think if Somalia have the will to bring back Somaliland, they can get it back, you know. But I don't know. It's down to them. It's not, you know, it's down to them. It's down to the people in Somalia. You know, people in Somalia, I think they equally claim that they're Arabs, right? So, I mean, I'm not about to speak in the interest of anybody that claim that they are Arabs. If you are not African, stand with the people in the Arabs too. You know, this is me like unapologetically saying what I'm saying. If you see, so what you have there is, what you have, right, is the Somalia people claiming that they are Arabs, right, and the Somaliland claiming that they are Jews. So me as an African, we are not ready to claim any of those entities. So it is, look, whatever happened to them, it is their business. They've decided their fate already. You are claiming that you are Arabs. The other people that got out, they are claiming that they are Jews. So if it's Jew versus Arab right there, they should not bring their trouble. They should not bring it to our doorstep. So that is what I'm for, right? If the Somaliland got out, and they got out in the framework of revolution, and they got out and they claim that they are Africans, definitely we can talk, we can speak to that effect. But you claim to be Jews, not Arabs. So it is being divided under the proxy of religion. I want a lot of people to understand that religion is equally a proxy. So the whole book was divided under the proxy of the framework of religion. So God bless them. God bless them. you know if you look at what happened in Israel, we dropped a video, right, on our Telegram channel where um Ben Ben something, this Israeli, there was this Israeli leader that told a Palestinian that has document to his land, right? He has document of ownership. He told him the land no longer belongs to you now, it belongs to Jews. Said, I'm giving you 2 hours to evacuate. So the people that are getting them into their border, Bengavi, thank you very much, Bengavi, right? Bengavi, is it Bengavi? Right? He has this type of name. These people are land grabbers. These people grab Ben Gurion, thank you. These people grab people's land. They are land grabbers. So either the Somaliland people say that as long as you are not African, your land, see, it's not about you. It's not about you. Go and read the history of Argentina. It's not about you. The land is their interest. So if you like, go and be. So if you say you are Jew, it means your land is already Jewish. So I don't know, maybe their grandchildren or the grand or whichever children, it can come and they wipe everything clean. So if people don't learn from history, they will learn by force when the time comes. And anybody that claims to be Arab, continue claiming to be Arab. It might just take time. A time will come, people will come in and they will wipe everywhere clean. Clean. If Donald Trump can say that certain countries are not white enough, when you look at the real intention of certain people, you will know that there is you will know that the danger is real. So now the ECOWAS chiefs, right? The ECOWAS chiefs of staffs, they gathered in Sierra Leone to finalize mobilization of ECOMOG. Kai, ECOWAS is an embarrassment. They gathered to finalize the mobilization of ECOMOG, standby force. During the session, each country is expected to announce the number of troops it will contribute to the force. Now, what are they projecting for a start? They are projecting a total unified force of around 2,000. To be honest, that's shameful. I won't lie. They are okay all together. They want to have like 2,000. And analysts have criticized them, saying that it is disgraceful that ECOWAS does not have a regional standby force, even as we speak, whereas a much younger regional alliance, the Alliance of Sahel States, got about 6,000 already. What do I think? I think we are approaching a certain territory that, you know, is not so good. The Alliance of Sahel States strategic build-up when it comes to their unified AES force is exceptional. Okay? But when you listen critically to the comments that was coming out of the ECOWAS delegation, they were saying things like, to make sure that they can go against places where there is no institutional whatever. My take is ECOWAS is a corrupt entity, it's a corrupt organization, it's a shameless organization that in 2026 you don't have anything, even if it's 200, you don't have. You are sitting. See, guys, it's not that they've been able to accumulate, they don't have. Right? Yes, there's a difference. They don't have. And when we talk about the strategy of the unified AES force, the strategy is to save the homeland, to safeguard the homeland. The strategy of ECOWAS is to protect the interest of the colonizers. Can you imagine what type of people are these people? To make sure you restore constitutional order. Constitution that was written by you, Abi. Families, do you know that the constitution of this ECOWAS state was not written by them? The constitution was not written by them. I was hearing from a retired politician in Nigeria. I don't know if politicians retire anyway. That the real constitution of Nigeria is in the UK. The original constitution. That once a Nigerian democratic elect emerges, he travels to the UK, and that is where they are going to show him the constitution, and equally they are going to show him different pre-existing framework that, look, this is the boundaries you should cross, this is the boundary you should not cross. If you cross this boundary, this is what will happen. See, let me tell you something. They said the fight you don't fight now is not gone. No. The fight you don't fight today, it has not disappeared. It did not disappear. It's waiting for you. So for those people that continue to dance their way around this revolution, right? They cannot duck it. You can't duck it. It's there. It's a big danger. It's there. So, and why is terrorism a thing right now? Terrorism is a thing because Africa has the youngest, the youngest population on the planet. The youngest population, right? The average population, right? Very young. With good leadership and that young population, miracles can happen. With good leadership and that young population. Now, the beautiful thing about a young population is that if they are used the right way, the economy can crash the roof. If they are used the right way, with a large amount of young population, technology itself can, the influence of technology can be pushed aside to a certain extent. There was no technology when great empires were born, like when great nations were being built back then. The pyramid, nobody has still been able to crack the code of the pyramid. It was not built now. It was back then when there was no technology, but there were people that had great mind and great brain. So the population of Africa, a demography that continues to increase, is a problem for the West because they are seeing Africa as a continent that can end up ruling the world if governed the right way. Africa have mineral resources. Look at the lands. A lot of people think this whole Prospera Africa thing is a joke. Look at the land of Africa. So when it comes to agriculture, Africa can exist without needing anything. And that is what they don't want. They don't want it. They don't want an Africa that can live independently. So that's why they systematically target Africa in different form, through media propaganda, through scholarships, through different things. Now let's talk about the scholarship. Imagine you have a good nation, right? Imagine somewhere like Burkina Faso, right? And in Burkina Faso, let's say you have a good government right now. Burkina Faso is rising. So Burkina Faso is sending nuclear scientists to Russia to go and train. They are sending people to Turkey. They are sending people to China. I want you to know there are Burkinabes in China on scholarship right now, learning real game. They are not learning all these ones that we are learning in school that we only say theories, we don't know no practical. Those people are learning to be productive for their nation, and they are coming back to transfer the knowledge to the ones that are better. See, life is not so hard. They are coming back to transfer that technology, right? Everything, and that is the blessing of traveling over the world, right? Going over like the world and beyond to get knowledge. Your knowledge should be like, oh, I've gotten great asset right now. Now it's time to return home and liberate my people. That is what it should be about. Now you have this framework in the Sahel. So it means that the type, see, like I think this thing is just that the difference here is that there is a certain block that is evil and there's a certain block that is good. Period. There is, see, the Western block means no, it means no good. It means no, it doesn't mean well for anybody. The Western bloc does not mean well for anybody. And they were the colonizers. So their biggest agenda is to remain, continue to remain the colonizers that they are. So I think the geopolitical shift of the alliance of Sahel States is not only going to affect the alliance of Sahel States on the long term, is a big influence on the continent of Africa. If we have people in Zimbabwe now looking at the framework of the Alliance of Sahel, if we have South Africans now talking about the framework of the Alliance of Sahel, if the people in Tanzania are now talking about the framework of the Alliance of Sahel, if people in Guinea are talking about what is going on in the Alliance of Sahel, the influence of the Alliance of Sahel is already all over the continent of Africa. This only means one thing. That means the Alliance of Sahel States is now the heart of the continental revolution in Africa. And hence, that is why they gave it a code name, the global epicenter of terrorism. It's a code name. I don't know if a lot of people understand. See, every objective has a code name. Every mission has a code. It has a designated code to it. They call it Operation Mamba, Operation Black Strike, Operation this, Operation that, Operation Desert Storm, Operation Rising Lion, Operation this, right? I don't know whatever strategic name they gave to their current operation in the Sahel. The current operation in the Sahel is to use terrorists, right, to undermine the influence of the Sahel. Because without using the terror, see, they have no option than to use something kinetic. And under the current international framework of international law, there is no way any troop can march in right now. It's not going to be possible. Okay? It's not going to look good. So, and why is it not possible? Because it would have been possible in a democracy. In fact, this regime would have been pushed out in a democracy. It is not possible because you have a revolution and it's called a popular people's revolution. Not because it's called a popular people's revolution, but it is in practical. This people's revolution is practical. It's not, look, this revolution we are seeing is practical, a unification of the people and the government. So trying to invade is impossible. They were trying to undermine the military capability of the state before by introducing terrorists. You can see that at the beginning of this whole thing, the terrorists were going against the troops. The terrorists discovered that the troops over time were becoming better. The capabilities that were coming in was even addressing the entire threats they brought. What did they do? Oh, it's not going to be enough to attack only the troops. Now let's start attacking the citizens. To make the citizens feel like, man, this is hopeless. But what they are getting is that whatever they are doing, instead of their threats turning the citizens towards them, the citizens are now even hating them the more. Hence, we are in the crash out season. So that is why they've seen that the plot cannot work, is not working, and it's looking like it will not succeed. Hence, you are now seeing Rudy Atalas, you are now seeing the Joan, you are now seeing the Mari, you are now seeing different envoys coming to the Sahel. You will hear high-level delegation. Different high-level delegation. See, this is not a stick and carrot. This is because a lot of attempts to undermine the state has failed completely. So what are they doing now? They are trying to see if there is going to be a breakthrough. That is why you still have the terrorists right now. The terrorists are assets. And I don't know if anybody understands what they mean by assets. Right? A deep state military asset. And that is either CIA, DGS, MI6, whatever they have, Mossad and all of that. They have officers. They are officers, they have internal assets within their own country. They have external officials that recruit foreign assets. So these jihadists now, they are assets. And when it's time to get rid of the assets to achieve their aim, they will ridicule and eliminate the assets at God's speed, but they don't completely eradicate the assets so that a sort of dependence can be created. Go and look at most of if they want, Al-Sharaa of Syria is forever an asset. Syria will never in any capacity become a free state. Never. Because they got Syria. The same Bashar al-Sharaa, okay, that they created. They create these people. They radicalize these people. The same Bashar al-Sharaa that they created is now the one ruling Syria. The same ISIS. Remember, they said they trained the ISIS. And when the ISIS operatives get injured on the line of contact, they treat them in Israel. I've posted this video on this platform. The material, I've posted it for those that have watched our videos, right? They said they'd fly them to Israel to treat them, and return them back to the line of contact. What was their long-term goal? To have a puppet in place, a forever asset. And what are they trying to do in Alliance of Sahel? They are trying to build an opposition in form of this guy called Imam Diko. Can you see the playbook for those that does not understand what this is all about? The tuntuns of the world. Can you see the synergy in the playbook? Diko is a foreign agent within, recruited by whatever deep states. But because of the revolution in the Sahel, it will never be possible to have someone like him in place. Now, he ran to another state, currently in Mauritania. So, the playbook does not change. You will hear that the people are asking for Sharia. Look at Nigeria currently. The Nigerians don't get it yet. The jihadists are asking for Sharia. When they deleted the 200 people, they asked them to accept Sharia. It's the same thing. And they believe that people will go, some people will be sacrificed and all of that. At the end of the day, when they have the Sharia, they will still discover that it's the same foreign entities that will be presiding over their affairs. And through that agent, the resources will by proxy belong to them. So it's not like the usual colonization. This time around is a complete, I don't know what that time looked like, but this time around is like a complete ownership. That's what it looks like now. It's a complete, look at Syria now. Everything in Syria breathes for the deep states of the West. They are in control in Syria. The same thing they want in Iran. But they've not been able to successfully build any capacity in Iran. Why? Because of the blessed memory Qasem Soleimani. See, there is always somebody that will help their countries out. I don't know. I think I don't know who tried to help Syria out, but Syria failed, right? But the good thing we have in the Sahel now is that there is a unification between the people and the government. And go and find out what is going on in the Sahel right now. Whoever is an enemy is not within the state. Don't punish them. Whoever is an enemy is not within the state. They catch you. Even the amoeba that was outside the state was rusticated and brought back to the state. That is power. That is influence. Even the amoeba that was outside the state. Now, look at what amoeba was about to do, right? No, let's get it from this perspective. A lot of people thought, oh, it's just the amoeba launching a coup d'etat. I said it and I called it first. I said, this is not the amoeba's coup. This is a Western coup. The amoeba is just the amoeba is just the vessel that they are going to use. Now, by way of knockout, the amoeba will become a complete asset. Okay? Because forever they will have it on the amoeba. That, look, we can easily tell your people, and they know that the people will constantly be against the amoeba. Just the way the people hate Blaise Compaoré. Okay? So what they will now do is that it will now be an option for the amoeba. Do you want to choose the people that already hate you? If you choose them, we are going to tell them. They have a way of framing people. We will come from the now. It is not that they will only infiltrate these people from whatever they've used them to do. They use people, and when it's time to dispose them, they dispose them. They will not only threaten the amoeba from the perspective of we are going to expose you, they are going to equally funnel some sort of money laundering through him. He is going to be able to steal. So it will now, by way of proxy, become a complete sabotaged entity. And that is what is going on in a lot of democracy in Africa right now. What you have leading you is not a puppet. What you have leading your country is an asset of the West. Look at Andre Rajoelina of Madagascar. It was not, see, go and look at the whole playbook. It's so similar. It's so similar. Okay? Andre Rajoelina was not even, he was a dual citizen. It was not just a dual citizen, they gave him the citizenship of France for protection. And when it was time, they knocked him off. First of all, before they use the leaders, they will blackmail the leaders. And that is what is going on even in the US right now. A lot of people are thinking that Donald Trump is even though Donald Trump has ego, the Israeli lobbyists and the Israeli deep state have been able to compromise the entire US leadership. Even Marco Rubio has been compromised. Have you forgotten that the person that brought Marco Rubio to the game is the same Peter Thiel? Peter Thiel paid $15 million. Is it 15? For Marco Rubio not to contest as deputy when Marco Rubio was nobody. Preparing him for this position, and not just this position, preparing him to be the president. If a lot of people understand what is going on geopolitically, if you understand, they got a lot on Marco Rubio. They got a lot on Donald Trump. They got a lot on. That is why you see that at the end of the day, you see this crisis in Iran, regardless of what will happen to the American troops, they will go ahead. Because the plan is always to compromise an individual and then use them. Even at the expense of the life of those people, they will still choose the people that compromise them. So hence, the leadership. Look at Tinubu in Nigeria. During the last election, even the notorious Buhari tried so many things to make sure that Tinubu does not get to power. Imagine someone like Tinubu, imagine someone like Buhari trying to cut off the interest of Tinubu because he knows that this person has been compromised. Right? The drug case, right? Oh, welcome, Mr. Nelson. Thank you so much for the donation. The drug case is aside for Tinubu. The certificate forgery is another thing. These are things that should knock you out from the very start. What did the US do? They classified everything about him. Negotiation, like it was the bargaining chip for them. And what did Buhari do to stop Tinubu from emerging? Buhari they had to do something to the currency, right? And what did Tinubu do? Tinubu said, no problem. What did they do? They spent dollars. They spent crazy dollars. Huh? See, Tinubu was not worried about the whole shifts in the financial framework when he was about to emerge. Because the people that want to spend him, that want to sponsor him, the people that want him in power because he was already an asset, they are going to bankroll him with whatever amount of money anybody can think about. They print the currency. The US have been overprinting currency for how long? And hence, they brought him to power. So whatever build-up you are currently seeing in Nigeria, I doubt if it will be successful. Why won't it be some? Because the people that are going to back Tinubu up again are the West. The money we spent in this election is going to be given to them by the West. Look at how much Western interests have infiltrated Nigeria just in these 4 years. How many, look at the levels that have infiltrated Nigeria just during this 4 years regime. And unfortunately, Nigerians, they live a type of passive lifestyle. They don't pay attention to different things. There are bills that were signed overtly. Nigerians knew about it. There are some that were signed covertly. They don't know about it. It is in this present Nigeria that this current tax law, the House of Representatives passed a certain bill. But when it was gazetted, the whole thing was completely changed. Welcome to the Wild West. So the people that want to continue to say we are an ally of the West have never had an ally. The West only have proxies. They have assets. They have vassals. For you to call, they see you as nobody. So you cannot be an ally. This is the empire. Remember what Marco Rubio said. Marco Rubio said the great Western Empire. So these people are imperialists. These people are the colonizers. These people are the ones that locked people in chains. Have you forgotten? They are the progenies of the colonizers. They are the products of the criminals that invaded Africa. And for you to think those people have enough moral to say that, oh, we are now partners, it's now win-win partnership, you will be joking. You will be, in fact, you will not only be joking, you will be smoking. Remember, Kwame Nkrumah said that categorically that any state that is trying to escape from neo-colonialism must not in any way have any type of cooperation or agreement with the same state that colonized them. I don't know if anybody understands. So when you see what the alliance, for them to progress, you must never ever have anything to do with the same group of people that colonize you, that you fought your independence from. So if that happens to be the case, the people that are still colonizing with the people that are still, collaborating with the people that colonize them, where is your independence coming from? Where is your independence coming from? So Zimbabwe, Mugabe told, what's the name of that person? Mugabe told him right there, leave my Zimbabwe for me. I don't want any part of your territory. Leave Zimbabwe to the Zimbabweans. So families, it's at this point that I want to bid everyone farewell. And the political class of Tony Blair, thank you so much. And the political class of Zimbabwe are currently saying thank you to their president to have rejected that over $350 million aid to their country. When they talk about aid, let's even come to that thing called aid. I know a lot of people think aid is that $350 million, they will give it to them. No, that's not aid. Aid is, they will give you probably, let's say they bring vehicles, they bring rice, they bring beans, they bring some drugs, medication, they bring mosquito nets. So they evaluate everything. And they will tell you, we sent you $350 million aid. And they will pay their assets that you call your leaders. They will pay them. That is aid. And for those unnecessary things that they must have sent to you, in fact, there are some things that they will send to you, nobody will be able to use. Like those things will be meaningless. They will give them to you and they will now come and take minerals for things that not even a goat can use. So That is how they function. That is how they have always worked. The Zimbabwean president said it instantly that we are not go. See, that is a sovereign state. That is a sovereign state. And my take right now is that the Zimbabwean leadership, they should go and look for a way to have something that looks like should I say that looks like should I say communism or something. There should be transfer of that power, right? There should be transfer of that power because they were lucky to have Mugabe. They removed Mugabe whichever way they want. There is another person in power now. They should never, by mistake, return that power. They should never. Somebody should already be in succession. Something like a succession should exist right now, even if they don't practice monarchy. There should be something like succession. When you grab power, don't ever give it back. Look at Ali Khamenei in Iran. There is already a successor. So should in case I go, you will never be able to destroy this state. So, families, I want to appreciate you all for coming. I want to say thank you. And for everybody that made it to the live, I want to appreciate everyone. We've been able to secure a live stream session with official survival media, courtesy of our brother Keita. He has been working tirelessly for the Android community and is the backbone of this community. His name is RNTV on this platform. I don't know. He comments once in a while. He doesn't really talk like that. Very strategic. So he was the one that secured the partnership with the official survivor media. So when we get in contact with official survivor media and a lot of people on the Android community, they were there on the official survivor media platform talking about the Android community. So it would be very, very good to talk to that brother and to know, to understand better. I've not been able to communicate with him, but I will tell brother Oma to communicate so that they can work out a time for the stream. When they work out a time on the stream, we'll drop the updates, we'll drop the notification. Why we want this collaboration is we want to have a collaboration with someone inside Ghana so that we can understand what is going on. We want to have a clear understanding on what is going on based on the political framework that they have with the US. We want to have a clear understanding on the build-up with France, apart from whatever is going on with the US. We want to understand a lot of things, a lot of details. How Ghana perceive the recent, security crisis in Tita. We want to collaborate. We want to get a lot of details, right, from that brother, because it's a reliable Ghanaian source, a patriotic one for that matter, a true Pan-Africanist, and a reliable one for that matter. So for that, we will. Africom is in Ghana. Yes, we can say Africom is in Ghana. The leader of Africom, Commander Dagvin Anderson, traveled to visit Mahama. I think we dropped the updates. Africom is currently in Ghana right now. They're trying to build a sort of bilateral framework to have a deal and all of that. But we will see what happens. We will see what happens at the end of the day. But that collaboration is a collaboration I will be looking out to. We have a lot of people we should have had live stream with right now, but I have not been able to create that time because I've been very tired recently. But I think I had enough sleep last night. I had enough sleep, so I just woke up. It was almost 24 hours, so I'm very, very renewed right now. I'm very strong right now. So the collaboration season is about to go. So thank you all for coming. I want to say thank you. By design, I want to say a very big thank you to you. You've been a strategic influence in this community. Mr. Nelson, you've been a strategic influence or influencer in this community. Simanera, Flavor Blade, I cannot forget you. Everybody, JLo, Gina Coleman, cryptography, Pan-African strategist, um, James Culverton. There's a lot of name in the house. True Mamle, she's also a strategic partner of the Drake community. Brother Omar Keita. I have the names, right? I have the names of those people on a glass mug. I have the names on the clothes. My long-term plan is to have the name of everybody on the Android community on a complete clothes that I will wear to some of the most important place for that matter. The reason is because I want to represent the people. That is what it's all about. So, for everybody that continues to contribute to the success of this community, that talks about us. I saw the comments in the official survival media. I saw the way the people spoke about this community. That's very, very fantastic. So I want to say thank you to everyone, and I really appreciate you all never taking this community for granted. And God bless you, fam. Thank you and much respect.